welcome guys to another episode of Burning Coils. It does look a little different today. We're not in a store. We're in my basement. We haven't really had time to get to a store. So
Here we are.
here we are.
These chairs are a little bit more comfortable though, so I could get used to it.
Yeah. So
And I didn't get the Halloween memo today,
Wow.
the orange and black. So if you guys want to dress up as you're watching,
Are we
this,
Bengals?
Bengals. Joe Burrow.
Or the Orioles? We can.
My dad's an Orioles fan. I never understood it.
He's a lot of weird fans. I don't understand it.
Likes
but
the Colts, the Orioles. I don't understand it. I don't ask questions.
I wouldn't either. But since we're not in a store, we do have a newer tank with us here to explain it, to show you guys what it is. It's going to be in all of our stores very soon. We don't have any new juice. We don't have any other products to really explain, talk about.
But we do have one really cool one.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to talk about its big brother tank as well, which we'll get to at some point. But
Of course. So
how's your week?
it's good. It's good. It's always busy, always crazy.
I know that.
You plan your day to go one way and it goes the total opposite. But
Doesn't matter if you're at work or at home.
Yeah, no, it's
never
always,
goes the right way.
Yeah, it's always an adventure. But yeah, it keeps it interesting. We're almost into February, which is nuts.
Thank God.
And it's going quick. You know what that means?
What?
February is the second month of the year. We're getting close to that 10 months till Christmas mark.
Oh, here we go. I'm never going to hear the end of Christmas. Tyler, we just went through Christmas.
I love
Let
it.
it go for about 6 months.
I love it.
Let's get to July, and then you can start talking about Christmas.
Christmas in July is a real thing, so I take you up on that. So last week I was super excited about this new tank because the glass is shaped like a golf ball. Not shaped, but it's like indented like a golf ball. So it's pretty solid. So I'm gonna pull that out, and this is the Fire Loop Max Loop tank, and look at that. It looks like a golf ball.
That's where you were coming from last week.
Yeah, you ever notice that?
No, I haven't. You can actually
it's
show all
indented like a golf ball, and I'll show you here. You probably can't even see that, but yeah, you can. So it has that golf ball texture to it, and I don't know, it's what caught my eye. I play a lot of golf. I wonder if this thing will fly as good as a golf ball.
Probably not. It's glass.
Probably right. But either way, so any vapor out there right now, you probably heard of the Fire Loop 2 tank made by
Or the
Freemax.
original Fire Loop.
Exactly. And Freemax right now is probably right up there, I'd say, with Smock.
I would say
it's better than Smock.
I would say it's probably the best tank right now on the market.
110%. I mean, everyone always got super excited for the Smock tanks. Oh, the V8's coming out. The Prince is coming out. The 16. But these Fire Loop tanks, man,
I think they have the best flavor. They have a vast range of coils that you can get for them, from anything from your singles all the way up to your quads. One thing nice about the original Fire Loops, and I'm pretty sure it's in this one too, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can use any of the coils. They're all compatible for this tank.
If I'm not mistaken, that's one thing that Freemax kept really consistent.
Yeah.
And I remember I was using the Fire Loop tank for the longest time because I loved the original. And when the Fire Loop 2 came out, it was more capacity for juice, better airflow, better everything.
Yeah.
But I liked the original coil. So I never even tried the Fire Loop 2 coils. I couldn't tell you how they work because I would just use that original coil that was compatible.
Now, I've heard that from a lot of people where they, enjoy the original single Fire Loop coil, compared to the TX1 or the TX2. Now you get some customers where they're always, I want my TX3s, I want my TX4s, or whatever.
And that's just the Fire Loop 2 line. For all you that didn't know, what they did was with the Fire Loop 2 was they came out with the different options for different varieties of different amounts of
coils. The original one
coils.
only was a single mesh coil.
And then eventually after the Fire Loop 2 they came out with the original double coil, like a dual coil. But the Fire Loop 2 had that option from a single all the way to the quad coil.
And that's the same thing with this.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, of course, this has its new coil line.
Absolutely.
Well.
And there's a lot of coils in that coil line.
Yeah, it's nuts. So they're just doing it again. They're right back at it, and they're just revamping everything.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, it definitely looks, stylish. It's definitely, this day and age, tank, press fill again.
Yep.
That's that's super convenient, super nice.
And you know what though, I've had a few customers that came up to me and said, you know what, I won't buy that because it's a push. You just push this pop over, and you think in your pocket, if you put it down and you sit down, you're gonna open it. It takes a good amount of force to open that. Yeah, it doesn't pop open.
And when I just popped it open, I'm like, that's not.
It's not moving.
That's not moving.
Yeah. So, and I mean, if you have a mod that big in your pocket and you sit down, no matter what type of tank you have on there, something is bound to happen. Yeah. You could snap it, you could break it, whatever.
I've had tanks leak in my pocket.
Yeah, me too.
For doing nothing.
Yep, and you know what? Once that happens, it kills the juice for you.
Yeah.
Kills the juice.
Did you put your hand in your coat pocket or your pants pocket?
Yep, and then your hand smells like that for days.
Oh, come on. No.
Yep. Been there, done that. It's not a fun time. But either way, it is not easy to open. It's not hard to open. I don't want to give the wrong impression. It's not like you have to pry it open with a crowbar.
No, but it's not.
It has some force to it. Yeah, but here's the only downside. It's not even a downside to the tank. I'm really big on that golf ball glass. The extra glass they give you isn't a golf ball, but don't break your glass.
What is it? A normal bubble?
Normal bubble glass. So it still gives you the same capacity.
5 milliliters of juice.
Just don't break your glass.
Well, maybe some people like the bubble glass better.
See, I'm impulsive. I buy stuff because it looks cool.
I'm surprised you haven't bought this yet.
I'm getting there. Give it a week.
Well, what mod is it going on this time? Because it ain't going on your Sigelli.
It's going on one of them. I might just buy a new one of those too. I mean, that Smart Scar 18's been catching my eye a little bit. That's a good one. That's another one. We'll throw in a video probably next week. That's a good device.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would probably
Smock actually came out with something really good.
Yeah. I mean, Smock's been, you know what? I give them a lot of credit. They've been coming out with a lot of good stuff. Their low-power devices, you could beat the absolute crap out of them. And they don't die.
No, but they went through a bad point in time where all their tanks were not the best. Some of their mods weren't all the best.
Yeah, it took them a little bit to perfect everything. But you know what?
They're coming around, though, so...
Yeah, I'd say in the past year, everything they've come out with has been spot on. Smock they're revamping themselves to be one of the top contenders.
They're coming out with a new tank, too.
Yeah, are they?
To replace the TFE-16. It's the TFE-18. So, don't know what's much different about the TFE-18 to the 16, but it's going to be their massive tank again. You know, I'm sure
those things are huge. You could slug someone with them.
I'm sure they're going to come out with a smaller version, like they always do.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet. It's not in the pipeline. We haven't seen it, but I did see the TFE-18 this week. So, you know, that is on the horizon from Smock. But coming back to the TFE-18, you know, to the Freemax, the Mesh Luke is coming out with their Pro Edition model as well. You know, so they're going to have that bigger tank, bigger coils. Still only holds 5 milliliters of juice, but
just... And the whole point of this is it's really going to replace the Fire Luke 2.
This is going to replace the Fire Luke 2.
And then that other one is going to replace the Mesh Pro.
So...
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they need that, though, because I'm sure you've seen it in the last 2 years or so. Vaping as a whole, in terms of devices, it kind of hit a plateau.
Oh, yeah.
Because for years, I remember when the DNA 20s came out. This is going back in time a little bit. And the DNA 20s came out. They were going for an insane price, and it was only 20 watts. And I remember they paired it. The big combination at the time, the big tank on the market was the Atlantis, the Aspire Atlantis tank. Oh, and they were good up to about 20, 25 watts, and everyone thought they were the cat's meow. Because, I could shoot 20 watts on this thing, and they thought their clouds were so big.
Well, now you can shoot like 215.
Yeah. It's insane.
Whoever goes up to 215 watts. Because I know it's not me, and I know it's not you.
It could be. Wait till I buy that one.
What are you buying? A Humvee? So, I don't know. You are impulsive, so I'm sure it's coming, guys. You know, you'll see him with another new mod where I'll still have my.
This is why.
Same old boost.
This is
week
why.
in and week out.
This is why I've never gotten fired. I mean, I'm good at my job. I like to think I'm good at my job. I put 110% effort into what I do. But their paycheck to me goes right back to them because I just buy everything that I think is cool. So I'm super impulsive. And there were weeks in time where my paycheck would go right back into the company. So
I can't do that.
Yeah, well, not everyone. Do what you can. But super excited about that Fire Luke tank. I think once word gets out about them, they're going to take off. There's no reason.
I mean, the original Fire Luke, the Fire Luke 2 took off.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Once word gets out there that Freemax has a new tank out, you know,
It's going to go. And going back off that vaping plateau, I mean, started with the DNA 20, and then a 50 watt box came out. Then a 75, then 100. And they just kept upping it. And it was the same thing with the tanks. Oh, this tank could handle 20 watts. This tank could handle 50 watts. Oh, on this tank, you could shoot 75 watts. And
this tank has 2 coils.
Oh, yeah. The dual coil, the multiple coils. That was huge. And
everyone thought Canthal at that time was the cat's meow.
That was it. That was what you got. That was the best stuff out there. And so, point of the story was, up until about a year ago, there was always something that could come out that could beat, just in power, what the other one did. Then the mesh coils became a thing, and they're huge. And now you won't find the tank that doesn't have a mesh coil. And so now it got to the point.
I mean, you can talk about mesh coils for a whole episode, how it changed.
How it changes your flavor.
Well, and how it changed the industry.
Exactly.
You know, when mesh coils came out, there was only about 1 or 2 companies making a mesh coil because it wasn't perfected yet. Mm-hmm. Now, every tank we look at, to mesh bring coil. In, there's mesh coils. Yep. It's the only coil they have. Yep. You know, they might have one ceramic coil to fit that one customer, but 95% of the coils are going to be mesh.
Yeah. And that's 110% true. And that's, so when you think about it, it came such a long way. The average person doesn't go above 100 watts. We're giving you devices.
Pushed over 100 watts.
No, same. Especially on a tank. You don't need it. You're getting so much flavor and so much production out of these tanks. You don't need 100 watts.
Me personally, I think you get a lot more flavor under 100 watts.
Yeah, it doesn't taste burnt.
No. I just think it's too warm. Even though I like a warmer vape, it's just too warm. It's too burnt. You don't get the flavor out of it. I just can't enjoy it. Now, everyone's different. Yeah. We know people that push over 100 watts.
Yep.
But I still don't know anyone that pushes over 200 or even close to 200.
So they keep coming out with this stuff, and they keep coming out with tanks that are about the same wattage-wise. But now all they could really improve is, now what they're improving is coil life, coil flavor, airflow, juice capacity.
Just as the designs.
Yeah, the designs, the durability of devices. Mm-hmm. I mean, we went over that with these boosts. The durability.
Any ages, getting back on your Smock 18, that's Smock's
durable version.
Durable mod to compete with Geek Vape.
Yeah, that's it. Same concept. Sigelli has the Humvee, same thing.
Yeah.
That's really what it morphed into. And they're all, no matter which way you go at this point in time, you got a Smock, a Sigelli, Geek Vape. Voopoo is known to be durable. And they don't even have the rubber durability features that Geek Vape and Smock do. But they're known to be able to take a beating just because of their old style device with a little bit better quality material.
Vandy Vape's the same way.
Vandy Vape, yeah. No matter what you get, you're getting almost...
I mean, that has only come into the picture, I want to say 6 months to a year ago. That super durable mod.
Yeah, and now everyone's
making one.
Every device that's coming out is durable. So now it's going to be super interesting to see where do they take it from here. And
I think a lot of companies got aggravated that their mods kept breaking and they kept getting them back to get replaced. So I think that's where the durability came from on the company sides. I mean, that's just smart business.
Not only that, people got fed up with having their device that you pay a pretty penny for. I mean, they're definitely more than affordable, but no one wants to go into a store. Yeah, no one wants
$20-$30.
Yeah, no one wants to go spend X amount of money on a setup, and you get this, and you think, okay, I'm good, and then 6 months later,
even sometimes a month later,
and they're breaking.
They're breaking,
and there's nothing that storage or anything could do. It's just how they were built.
Yeah, and that was Smock's biggest issue. That was the Jellyfish's biggest issue, and that was the hottest mod on the market.
Yeah, it's not even just those companies; it's every company.
Yeah, every company's had, but there's just some, you can
call high names.
You can call off the top.
That just shows that even the best vape companies out there were having issues, and
we still see it with Geek Vape, with our Vandy Vape stuff.
Happens. They're mass produced. They're mass produced, but they're so much more reliable now. I mean, I have people using the Legend mod that's 2 years old, and it's still kicking.
I've had a friend of mine that he just replaced his Legend probably for about 2 years. The rubber was off. There was no leather on the back side of it.
Get out.
Yeah, the metal piece around it was off. It was just, the mod. There was no features on it. But, he's an HVAC worker. He's up and down ladders. He's dropping it all the time. He's throwing it in his truck. It didn't matter. It was still durable. It still worked every single day. He might have broke a tank here and there, but...
Well, that's going to happen. The tanks aren't durable. The tanks are never going to be durable.
Besides, if, sometimes if you get...
like a pod.
A pod, or I can't think of the tank.
The PMP.
No. It's made by UL. The Valerian 2.
Not that durable?
From some of our employees, they say they're super durable. I don't
You
think
know
it's
what?
a glass.
I tried one of those today.
I don't think it's a glass case or a glass tank. I think it's more of like a plastic-ish tank.
Yeah.
Which is gonna give that durability, if you drop it. But I've seen some of those tanks come back in broken, but it's not very often.
I just want to check something real quick here. That's another thing. Now what they're doing, like we're talking about taking vaping in the next direction. I think that's a big thing. The plastic tank. And then what's also big, I know what the Valerian did was they made it self-cleaning, and that's why I was checking to see if this had it, but it doesn't. But
I think they have that patent, to be completely honest.
Really?
I could be wrong. I can be 100% wrong, but I think they almost do a patent out there to have that as a little, marketing tip to say buy our tank over somebody else's.
It makes sense. I mean, that's a real nice feature.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Smock does it.
On what tank?
Doesn't it have V16 self-clean?
Oh, it might. So
I can't remember. I mean, I don't know, but that's a really cool option.
Yeah.
Does it work or not? I don't know. There's really no way to test it.
I've heard from some of our employees it works well. But
yeah,
I've never owned a tank that's self-clean, so I have no clue.
And honestly, the tanks out now are so good that you really don't have leaking issues to begin with, unless you do something like leave it in your car, rapid change in temperature. Then of course your tank's gonna leak, no matter what you do.
Pressure, stuff like that.
I mean, you fill it up, you keep that airflow open too long on the top, it's almost like a water bottle with a pinhole in the back. It's just gonna run right out.
Yeah.
And the pressure change, stuff like that. So most of the time they're not gonna leak unless you do something to it to make it. But that's why I was checking with that. But either way, self-cleaning or not self-cleaning, it's gonna be a darn good tank, and I think anyone's gonna like it. So.
I think it's going to be the hottest tank out in the market right now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And at this point, it is brand new. The word just has to get out there. That's why we're here.
Yep.
To help get that word out. Stop in our stores. We'll talk it up even more.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Any of our employees will.
Yeah, you can't beat it. This thing's going to go like crazy. And price point on it, if I remember right, is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's normal.
$40.
Normal for a tank.
Yeah, can't beat it. So I mean that's huge. You're getting a premium tank for a good price.
Yeah.
So.
And a good company.
Yeah, can't beat it.
I have no bad words to say about Freemax. So.
Yeah, they're just consistently good.
And I think on the horizon now, they're starting to get in the mod scene, from what I've seen. Mm-hmm. So
I've seen a few things like that. Yeah, it's
maybe at some point they're gonna come into that realm, and you'll get a whole. Freemax setup, just like a Smock or a Geek Vape, but
and
that's
the thing
on the
I like
horizon.
about it, they're taking their time with it. So when it comes out,
it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. So, and that's huge. That's what Sigelli always does. Sigelli's not pumping new devices out like it's water, but everything that comes out is top notch Sigelli standard quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't beat it. So, like always, questions, comments, anything, leave them. We'll look at them. We'll go from there, and we'll answer your questions if you have any. And I think that pretty much sums it up.
Like I said, it's a little weird to not see us in a store, but
I could get used to this though. This couch is pretty comfy. So I could do it.
Well, I have to make it the best for you. So
fair enough.
So we'll see you guys next week. Like Tyler said, throw comments down. We will answer them. Any questions you guys have, feel free.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys.
Have a good one, guys.